Flamethrower is a weird gun in most games, but it is especially true for Payday 2. While it is not useless, only real use this gun has in a serious situation is a game called Cold Crime Spree, where on high levels you can kill cops efficiently. Not to say it is useless, it is just not practical to warrant to use it on death sentence. Practically every other gun, aside from maybe Peacemaker, is a better and more versatile option, and that is by design. It is essentially a glorified lighter that happens to be somewhat dangerous. Okay, enough rambling, let's focus on how this thing even functions. There is stuff that is not even mentioned in the stats at all, and I only know it because I played with it, tested it, and double checked in the internal workings of the decompiled source code of the game. They shoot flame particles relative to the middle of your screen and shoots that flame particles when you press the fire button, and travels at a fast speed. Particles goes for 10 meters in the game code, but in my experience it is about the inspired range of 9 meters is more consistent. Flame particles is tied to how long you have been pressing the fire button somehow, so if you want to burn enemies that are 9 or 10 meters away, you need to press that button for just about a second to flames you to reach the intended target. And flame particles have a 75% chance to ignite whatever it touch, but it is not a problem since you shoot flame particles fast even with a single tap, and each of them rolls their own 75% chance, making me question why is this even a thing. Compared to almighty meta Dragon's Breath damage over time effect that is caused by the Flamethrower is 2 ticks, and each tick does 300 damage, totaling to 600 damage compared to the 500 that comes with Dragon's Breath. As you can see, damage over time outweighs the gun's actual damage, so get the ammo modification for higher ammo to boost DOT more. Holding down the trigger is just wasting ammo for the flamethrowers, which they don't lack or anything, but will make you suffer if you are not careful with it. Aside from that, damage over time effect is also affected by crits and not anything else actually. This is a huge problem for the gun. 10 meter range plus only one effective way to increase the damage makes the gun more limiting than compared to every other gun. Not to mention, flamethrowers are one of the most loud guns in the entire game, as in they make a lot of sounds for enemy AI to focus on you. Once you press the trigger, you better be sure about it that since whomever is not stunned on the map will know your exact location to shoot you from afar. At the same time, amount of noise it makes opens up some big brain options. You can redirect enemies' attention to you instead of your team with a gun that is this loud, allowing them to easier attempt to achieve objectives, kill what you redirected yourself to less risk to them. But at the same time, you can just use an unsilenced LMG to achieve a similar effect. Not to mention, drawing aggro to 1 or 2 player tactic is inferior to the team running silenced guns and as much joker as the game physically holds 90% of the time. It also counted as an automatic fire in the game, so lock and load aced will help you speed up the crippling reload time. And damage over time does count for the skill, so you don't need to hold the fire button to trigger the skill. It has no recoil stat nor user spread, so skills that up stability and accuracy are totally useless. Why they are still in the UI? I don't know, since they serve no purpose. And lastly, it triggers bullseye skill if you are spraying to the head, even though there is no headshot multiplayer benefit similar to the Dragon's Breath ammo. Why it does that, you guys? I genuinely don't know the answer for it, but it is the only thing that keeps the gun usable on death sentence, unless you use anarchist, stoic, or maybe a sociopath. Yes, it is viable on death sentence, but you have no actual reason to use it aside from flexing your skins or whatnot. Most people you see using it either has no clue about the game and will switch off to the grenade launcher after a single game, or know too much about the game to the point that they don't need some overpowered nor practical setup to contribute to the team. This is practically the ultimate, the most chattest power move in terms of weapons, since literally every other gun will do better in nearly every situation. It's not useful as a backup weapon either. M17 competes with SMGs, 5.7, Dragon's Breath Grim, Judge, Claire, Locomotive, Compact 40mm, Arbiter, China Pop, and even the goddamn pistol crossbow and NHE Judge are better choices than M17, since they don't have long range, grenade launchers kill reliably at practically any range, and people use pistol crossbow and HE Judge in Berserker setups to trigger the Berserker skill. But M1K is even worse choice despite having more ammo than the M17, since sniper rifles, LMGs, shotguns, assault rifles, akimbo weapons are more deadly, less gimmicky, and generally more effective. This leaves flamethrowers in an awkward place that you can't really find an effective use for them. Not to say they can't be used effectively, but guns ask so much from you as a player. You need to be at the right distance from cover, utilize your perk of choice to the extreme extent to stand a chance. That being said, yeah, they are pretty fun if you can play around the shortcuts. As for skill choices for primary use, only thing I can recommend to both guns is either Lock and Load Aced or Bloodthirst Ace to speed up the reload. Even though you may not even need to reload the guns at all because of their absurd magazine capacity, it is still nice to have. Or you can take both, but honestly, I find it kinda overkill for such a gimmicky gun type compared to the rest of the arsenal. Rest of the points should go for the utilities, crits, and your backup weapon. Yes, no matter the map, you still need to pick a good secondary for range as well as dozers. As a backup for M1K, to use with low blow ace skill, I recommend Bronco. While Bernetti 9, Gruber, Compact 5 also work, I found Bronco to be a better pick than the other choices. With pistol skills, Bronco usually 1 mags regular dozers and 2 mags minigun dozers. With enough concealment to work with 27% crit chance, and Bronco is a beast of its own. Either Lock and Load Ace or Bloodthirst Ace is good enough to get your flamethrower reload fast. For M17, you have better options obviously, but ways to make more mistakes too. First of all, never pair this gun with snipers, or dozers will run you over. What about Thanatos, you say? Well, good luck. Don't pair it with crossbows or launchers either, since you will need a good, easy to use and convenient bulldozer removal guns. For this role, I recommend newly buffed DMRs to engage in range and kill dozers. But here is the question. Is M17 can be replaced by any other backup gun? Yes. You can easily run 5.7 as a backup for shields or conserve ammo in the DMR. You can run launchers to take care of crowds efficiently and bring a high damage SMG to conserve ammo on the DMR and spray at bulldozers, or run infiltrator or sociopath with melee skills to bludgeon dozers to death, or crit with a melee, and never mind. The point is, M17 is not a good backup gun compared to the other options, but it is still an option nonetheless. I do have builds with it, and here they are. Both of them are Kingpin builds, utilizing the amount of sound Flamethrower makes to take heat off your team. Kingpin also has Injector to take more aggro, rush into the groups to burn them with near invincibility, or just to save yourself. With a risky weapon like this, Kingpin is the obvious choice. First build has 2 versions, one with suit, which is risky but it has inspired, and one with lightweight ballistic vest to tank light SWAT shots and be more tanky against snipers. I recommend lightweight ballistic vest version, since I don't have painkillers with this setup, and you will be cleaning the area first anyway, since the range of the flamethrowers is at most 10 meters. After you get that close, you might as well manually revive your teammates. Other one ditches the low blow for unseen strike ace to be used with a more versatile SMG backup. My choice is the new AK SMG that comes with the smuggler pack, but any other SMG that is not low damage ones, such as Micro Uzi, is a good choice. Only reason why I chose to use this is that I already own the pack and I am running Lock and Load Ace to speed up the reload of the flamethrower anyway, bypassing this SMG's only weakness. If you don't have the Kingpin, your next bet is probably Anarchist, cause the damage over time effect lets you regain armor, or Stoic since it's OP. But I tried and died with them quite a lot, and yes, it is a skill issue. I don't even know what I am going with this video if I'm being honest here. It is a good gimmick if you are bored, I guess. I certainly find enough entertainment value to make this video, but Flamethrowers is not that great compared to the other weapon types, and the success you find with it is up to your individual skill and game sense. But you know what's funny to me? Out of all the guns in the game, Flamethrowers is the most humble choice in the entire game. In a game where snipers can crowd control, kill groups of enemies with ease, shotguns can kill groups without even aiming, and rocket launchers and akimbo, infinite ammo skill, 2 different miniguns. Out of all options, Flamethrower is the least ridiculous option. In a game where everything is so ridiculous, a fucking Flamethrower is most down-to-earth option, which is kinda ironic since it is Payday, aka opposite of every logical things ever put in video games. And yeah, I can also mod the game for 15-meter range, but to promote the less risky playstyle, but it is not my responsibility to balance a studio's game which I play. Anyway, too long didn't watch. You're not a burden to your team if you bring these, but you can do better with any other weapon type.